Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ave Mujica. This is episode 6 of the series. In the last episode, we had some MyGo content as Anon and Tomori have gone over to Saki's house with her by force. And at the end of the episode, Tomori said to Saki, "Hey, let's play together. Let's make a band or something." So let's see how. I mean, I don't imagine Saki's gonna be like, "Yeah, that sounds great." Like, that just doesn't sound like what's gonna happen. But I wonder, like, what that question will spark. Sometimes the question isn't even about getting the other person to agree to it. The question is about getting someone to think of, you know, of things in a different way. Start to think about, like, the potential of your life. If you say no to Tomori saying that, you then have to start to think to yourself, why am I saying no to that? What do I truly feel about bands, about music, about Tomori, about my my ex-bandmates? Like, what is that making me feel? And I feel like also, like, maybe helping her figure out how she feels about things is going to help her get out of this slump, because if right now she is just feeling depression, she's just numb, completely numb, maybe you need something to spark you into feeling something before you can start feeling happy again. Like, maybe the first thing you need to feel is sadness and frustration and anger, and then you can start moving through other things. But who knows? I'm not a therapist. She should go talk to a therapist. That's really what most of the characters in this series need, is a good therapist, but I don't think they're going to be able to get one of those, so let's hope that they figure out therapy just by talking to each other. Let's jump into the episode. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. All of that stuff helps me out a lot. If you like these videos, share them around with other people. Show other people, especially other Bang Dream fans, that there's reaction videos to this series out there. If there are, like, Bang Dream fan spaces where people are discussing Ave Mujica, maybe recommend my videos there if you can. And you can go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. Anyway, let's jump into this Ave Mujica episode 6. Man, I think Saki's gonna get very angry. I mean, that was a much calmer response than I expected. Damn, man. I don't think she is too harsh. I think that was a reasonable response. Like, I wish she could be a bit nicer to Tomori, but it's hard right now. Are those the notes that Tomori left for her? In a big book? You're talking to the wrong person about this. Aww. Huh? Yeah, I understand that. Like, Tomori, you can't handle the emotion of how much he's gonna reject you. That was dope, Raana. Oh yeah, I forgot this was happening. Maybe Mutsumi felt close to you. Mutsumi didn't say she felt the same, but she doesn't really say she loved many things. Damn. Mortis is so blunt. Aww. I don't think it's that simple. Aww. Oh, it's very sweet that Sawyer is playing along with this. That was a really good scene. No, Sawyer's doing good right now. This is some of the nicest shit Sawyer's ever done. Aww. Wow. That's crazy, Raana. Her two eyes two different colored eyes can see two different personalities. Damn, Raana. Man, having a Mortis Raana little storyline, that's fun. They're both guitarists, right? Tomori, don't take on everyone's problems for yourself. Why did you have to sprint? She was walking slowly. You're so tired. I guess Mutsumi doesn't exercise much. Oh my god, so many. These two are so great together. No note. Are you disappointed? She's a bit disappointed, I think. Yeah. Because maybe that feels like even Tomori's given up on you, you know? Yeah, it was already on shaky ground. Sometimes certain people connect. Oh. Man, Raana loves the guitar. I wish I loved something as much as Raana loves guitar. Oh! That's awesome! Just like in her mind. Oh my god. That scream, man. Oh. Oh my god. What an effect. Oh my god. Oh, this is cool. See, oh my god. That's bad. Yeah, I mean, Mortis doesn't like Saki. She doesn't really get her. Oh, this is so good. And we get to hear the voice actress really flexing. I get both of what the Mutsumis are saying. Aww. Come on, you dicks. She's telling you not to take photos and we can still hear your shutter sounds going off. Uh-oh. She gives me the vibe that she'd be good with spice. It takes a while to kick. She also could be playing it up for the camera. Nope, she's not playing it up for the camera. Damn, it went viral. Damn, man. Oh, how's she gonna take this? Is she gonna go and try to help Mutsumi? People think it's like, it's all part of Ave Mujica's gimmick. Aww. You need to go talk to her. Oh, oh. Yes, go. Do it. Do it, Saki. Come on. No. No, 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 no. Don't distance yourself more, Saki. Oh, it's gonna make this so much harder. Man, Mortis is quite controlling, but to protect her, obviously. She's protective. Hmm. Oh my god, this is like really sad, but also kind of funny. Jesus. Just stuffing her in more stuffed animals. No. They're piecing it together. Yes, but she's in a bad way right now. Like, she's a victim too. Be careful. Don't burn it all down, Sawyer. Let's be respectful to both of them. Another great episode. I'm gonna make a prediction though for myself. I feel like that this, I'm not making a prediction for the show, I'm making a prediction for this video. I think that this is gonna be a shorter discussion because I don't have as many notes this time. And this is another one of those situations where I still want to just see where it's going before I like say sweeping things about these characters and about this series. But firstly, I want to go back to the start, to the cold open. Was that the book that Saki had? Yeah, I think this is all the all notes from Tomori, I imagine, because does it have a picture of the note that she was holding, the scrunched up note? I see the scrunched up note there. Yeah, so like it's like sort of a yellow note, the same type of note. Yeah, it's got like a weird shape to it. So all the notes that Tomori has been leaving for Saki, she's taken them and put them in a little book. Like, that's really cute, and these are really cute messages as well. Like, I don't want to lose my grip on the memories of the day that we met. That's like very sweet. I like that. So yeah, that's interesting, because that showing that she has them in a book and she's looking at them, you know, at this time. I mean, she wants to open up. She's in a really difficult place, and that's something that I said towards the end of the reaction of this episode was like, what's really difficult, and like one of the biggest like hurdles we're walking into with this series is that Saki is a victim of all of this. And she's also like the reason a lot of this is getting worse, and that's a tough balance. I mean, you know, the classic expression of hurt people is very much true, and it's a difficult thing to have to comment on, I think, because I've, like, many times in these discussions and stuff, I've been talking about situations and I've been like justifying things, and I've been saying like, oh, what these characters should do. And very often when I do that, you know, or I put like a modicum of like, I don't want to say blame, because I try not to blame these characters for like these situations too much. But if I do put like a modicum of blame on someone, there's like often a comment or comments that are saying like, well, you know, but this person, you have to understand, they said that because of this, they're going through this. And that's the thing, I do understand that, and that's the big problem. That's the very hard thing about this series, and about like people like this in real life as well, is you have to sympathize with them because they're going through something horrible that we can't even imagine, and it's sort of like understandable that it's like this. I mean, it's very much the same situation as like Saki and her dad, where it's like, yeah, he's like, Saki's, you know, out of the situation with her dad. Should she be? I don't know. It's hard to know. It's not 100% the dad's fault that he's like that, but it's not his fault at all. He's a victim, but he's also doing bad stuff. Saki's a victim and she's also doing bad stuff. Nyamu's a victim and she's also doing bad stuff. Like, a lot of this is really, really difficult because of that. And I mean, that's kind of like really beautiful character writing. When you can write characters like this where they all have their own fault in the matter, but I can also, I'm not looking at any of them and going like, well, it doesn't really make sense that they're acting like this, or like, oh, they put this in to make this character the villain now. Like, I'm never thinking that. I'm always thinking these characters are doing what they're doing because this is in their character, and the other characters are reacting how they're reacting because that's in their character. And like, it all feels very natural, but it's naturally a poor chemical reaction. So, like, I think with Saki, I'm watching a scene like that where she's saying, you know, I don't know Mutsumi, I don't know Ave Mujica, like, none of that's a part of me or anything. She's saying all of that, and it's very difficult because I'm watching that, I'm disappointed that she's saying something like that. But there's a part of me also going, but can I blame her? Like, she feels like she's responsible for what happened to Mutsumi, and so she doesn't want to continue causing damage. She also feels like she was a part of Cry Chicken, then she blew that up. She was a part of Ave Mujica, and then she blew that up. Like, things that she touches turns to shit, you know? She's got the opposite Midas touch. So I can see why she's so hesitant to keep that stuff in her life. Like, I think she's the sort of person who she wants to continuously get completely fresh starts, but she can never do that. She wants to like completely disregard her past and move past it and start a new life, but that's not really possible. It's part of who you are, Saki. And so, like, I don't blame her for it, but also at the same time, it's running away from her problems. She's not sticking around to sweep up any of the messes she made because she thinks if she tries to sweep it up, she's gonna like create more mess, which I don't think is true. And I think something that people often don't realize when they think this stuff about themselves, when they think like, oh, everything I do fails and this gets worse and like I always ruin my relationships and anything like that. What people don't realize is that all of your experiences affect you in the future. This isn't like, you know, like people will say like, oh, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Okay? Yeah, great quote, and it works nicely for some situations. But you think about if you were to, I've just watched an episode of Blue Box, so let's talk about blue, like in badminton terms. If you were to, no, actually, let's talk about it in basketball terms because I know it better. If you were to try to shoot a free throw, okay, your first free throw ever in basketball, you take the ball, you throw a free throw, goes like, you know, 2 feet to the side, completely misses the ring, right? And then you take the ball back, you throw it again. Oh shit, it goes like a foot to the left, misses. You take the ball, you throw it again, misses again. And then you go, all right, well, I figured out something about myself. I suck at free throws. Now you could say, well, it's insanity if you do the same thing over and over again expecting a different result. But that's how you get better at free throws. You do it over and over again and you expect a different result because you're training, you're practicing, you're getting better, you're learning from your experiences, your body is getting more used to shooting free throws, and then eventually you're sinking them and you're sinking them more and more and more, right? We know that is true. I know that sounds obvious, but we know it's true when it comes to sports, when it comes to training our skill sets, when it comes to art, when it comes to like anything that requires skill, but we don't consider that when it comes to life a lot of the time. You have to train yourself to be a better person in life. Sometimes I'll be having arguments with people and I say something hurtful, you know, like especially when I was younger, like I would say something hurtful when I would feel horrible for it. And then I would do another argument and I'd get into another place and say something else that like isn't great to say to someone. And like I feel terrible about it and stuff. But as I grow older and I come across more situations like that, I start to try to be a bit more respectful in conversations. Remember that I'm talking to a human being. Try to reach a common ground with them, or at least if I can't, try to communicate effectively with them that like on what exactly I feel, and like try to just get them to think about things from my perspective instead of like insulting them for not seeing things the way that I do. And I get better at it. I'm not perfect at it, but I've got a lot of life left, hopefully. Jesus, I hope, knock on wood. But I've got a lot of life left to live. I'm going to hopefully learn a lot more. And that's a big part of how I approach life in general. Improving on myself every single day is a very important thing. Not just improving my skill sets, but improving who I am as a person. And improving, trying to take away my ignorance. I'm sure there are things that I'm ignorant about right now that I shouldn't be, or things that I do to people or say to people that I shouldn't do or say. And I'm hoping that in 5 years, I will have halved the bad things that I do and say. And then in another 5 years, I will have halved them again or something, you know? So yeah, I think when there's someone like Saki who's in deep like this, she starts to think, well, this is who I am, and I'm now going to separate myself from it because I can't do it right. But you might be able to do it right. Maybe you can communicate with your friends effectively, especially, I mean, she's what, 16, 17 years old or something? Like she's in high school. I know that she probably holds a higher standard for herself in terms of maturity, because she had to grow up faster than a lot of people. I mean, losing a parent and having to take care of your father and having to get jobs and doing all of that, like, it forces you to mature faster. But you can't like speed run maturity in your brain, you know? Like you still have to, you're not going to be fully mature when you're in high school. And so like she still has a lot to learn, and she can't like say anything definitively about her own personality, about herself, about who she is, because you don't know yet. I'm a very different person than I was in high school. Like, I feel like, I mean, people will say when they see me in like now, and they knew me in high school and we haven't seen each other for a while, they'll say like, oh, you haven't changed a bit or whatever, you know? Because I'll still be making the same dumb jokes and I'll still whatever. But I know when I look back at who I was and the things that I was doing and the things that I was saying and the ways that I was acting, that I'm a completely different person, that I've changed so much in this time. And I will continue to change, and that's a good thing. So Saki, I think, needs to kind of accept like, hey, it's okay that I've had all of these bad experiences and that I've made these mistakes. What I can try to do now is use what I've learned and try to help out the people I care about. And she clearly cares about Mutsumi. She absolutely does. I know she does. Deep down, she cares about Mutsumi, and she wants to help her. So I think she should. But it's easy for me to say that. I'm not her. I loved the Raana and Mutsumi scenes. They were really cute. Just very simple. They like sort of understand each other on a weird level. I loved the scene where Mutsumi went like, I meant, what's your name? And like Raana had just pointed at all the cats and went, Neko, Neko, Neko. And she goes, what's your name though? And Raana goes, Raana. I think that's really cute. Just such a, and then like Mortis did it, but she also pointed at herself and said Mortis. Just so adorable. So I loved all of those scenes. And then also what was the other? There's one more note I have. Oh yeah, it was about Taki. Now her name is Taki, right? I know this is stupid to have to look up. Yeah, her name is Taki. Like the reason I had to look that up is because we have a Saki in this show, and she also looks like Tai from Poppin' Party. So in my head, I thought I just fused Tai and Saki, but no, the creators did that. They fused Tai and Saki, and I now have to remember it like that. Anyway, Taki, early in the episode, what was the exact line she said? She was talking to, Tomori about Saki, and I kind of liked what she said, but I wanna find the exact line. Yeah, here it is. She said, because I don't want you to get hurt digging too deeply. I think I've talked about this in a previous video, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the problem, is like Tomori doesn't, like, Tomori gets so caught up in other people and in their emotions, and she doesn't fully understand them, but she wants to help. And I think what Taki's saying is, like, in a really sad way, I think Saki might not be able to be helped by you, at least. You know, like, I don't think you can do anything. And the problem is, you're going to keep trying and trying and trying and get deeper and deeper into this, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be the worst thing. It's gonna, like, be so painful for you, and you're not gonna get anything out of it. So, like, don't keep pursuing this with Saki. And, like, that's it. Again, relating it back to Saki and her dad, which I think, you know, is so relevant to a lot of the stuff. Like, it's the same with Saki. Like, if she tries and tries to change her father's behavior, but just can't get through to him, like, sometimes the only thing she can do is step away from it. And so, in the same way, Taki is saying, like, maybe the best thing you can do is step away from it. However, what I'm saying now completely contradicts what I was just talking about with Saki, where it's like, sometimes your experiences will make you better at it, and, like, now maybe you can do it, and you don't want to give up on the person you care about. So I know why Taki's saying that, but, like, and I respect it, and I know it's out of comfort, and maybe it's even the right advice, but the problem is we don't know. We have no idea. So I think maybe just, if you make sure Tomori is okay, and you support her, and you make sure that her, that she knows if she needs anything or anyone, that you're at her side. And then if Tomori wants to continue to help Saki, then let her. And if she doesn't, if she, like, decides it's too hard, then, you know, support that too. Anyway, that is Ave Mujica episode 6. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.